I speak on the behalf of all sane Australians in apologising to Novak Djokovic for Australia's mistreatment of the greatest tennis player of all time and the most successful international athlete to compete on Australian shores. This apology will cover various times where Djokovic was wronged and serve as a reminder of how Australia is fortunate that Novak Djokovic continues to forgive this abuse and return yearly to entertain Australian crowds. Novak Djokovic, Australia apologises for unprofessional journalistic standards from TV presenters openly disrespecting your name, calling you a sneaky asshole.
Whatever way you look at it, Novak Djokovic is a lying, sneaky
He's an
asshole.
He is an asshole.
Like, whatever way you look at it, it's unfortunate that everybody else stuffed up around him.
That's it. I mean, he's an asshole.
Like, to go out when you know you're COVID positive. Well, I don't think he was even COVID positive. I don't think that form is true.
He got a bullshit fucking excuse and then fell over his own fucking lies, which is what happens, right?
Yeah.
That's what's happened.
And then him now then ticking, he didn't go to Spain.
Yeah.
It's just like...
Yeah. But I think he's going to get away with it.
Well, he is going to get away with it.
Yeah. I just...
But he's...
To articles being written in 2025 calling for you to immediately retire, arguing that we're a bit done with Djokovic, aren't we? And when he does leave, yielding the court to younger and more intriguing stars, the sport will be richer for it. Novak Djokovic, sane Australians apologise for an outdated, unhinged and unprofessional journalist that I shall not name because that is all he craves, attention, for his borderline racist and demeaning comments, which were likely instructed by the host broadcaster, proven by the fact that Serbian fans were waving their flags before the segment began.
The chants are quite extraordinary. Novak, he's overrated. Novak's a has-been. Novak, kick him out. Boy, I'm glad they can't hear me.
Novak Djokovic, we apologise for the media misconstruing your open brainstorm and good intentions for your fellow competitors in Melbourne during the quarantine-affected 2021 Australian Open as a list of demands to the government, only a year after a generous donation to the bushfire-affected communities of Australia. Novak Djokovic, we apologise for painting you as a villain for listing these suggestions on the behalf of the players as a member of the Player Executive Committee of the player-run Professional Tennis Players Association, only before there being an Australian Open ravaged by preventable injuries linked to poor conditioning, which were linked to the 14-day hard quarantine in the hotel rooms. Novak Djokovic, we apologise for you even suggesting that playing in 40 degrees Celsius weather on cement is likely not that safe for the players. Novak Djokovic, we apologise for the disrespectful crowds and hecklers throughout the years, from drunken Where's Wally's morons to members of the crowd calling you to get vaccinated before you serve an ace, where, instead, they had kisses blown to them. How graceful of you. Novak Djokovic, we apologise for the entire 2022 deportation ordeal, from you coming under the pretense that you were allowed to come in, to the fact you were detained without counsel, interrogated in the early hours of the morning while being sleep deprived, and we also apologise for placing you in an urban prison surrounded by insects, a lack of water and food, which were also likely compromised, and no training equipment as you somehow held out hope you would once again defend your Australian Open title. Although we are thankful that your saga exposed the then Liberal government's torture of asylum seekers who were held in such hotels indefinitely, we apologise that you had to be the sacrificial lamb. Novak, we apologise for how the government could not accept a defeat in court and had to use their executive powers to kick you out of Australia on the grounds that your presence in Australia could serve as a danger to the public health of Australia. We once again are thankful for you, Novak, because you taught us to stand up for what you believe in, even if that means that you stand alone. But once again, Australia apologises that this ever even had to occur. Australia apologises for being primed to believe that you have been faking your injuries, from the 2021 25mm abdominal oblique tear to the 3cm hamstring tear in 2023, where both times you went on to win the Australian Open. Novak, we apologise for a small yet vocal section of the crowd booing you off as you retired hurt at this year's Australian Open, who call you a deceitful stain to the sport, but expect you to play through an adductor tear. These members of the crowd were primed into believing you were faking your injury, and therefore, Novak, Australia apologises for quote-unquote fans around my section of Rod Laver Arena, where I watched you play against Carlos Alcaraz, calling you a faker, and saying that he always does this as you called a medical timeout during your recent match against the aforementioned Carlos Alcaraz. Novak Djokovic, we apologise that there is even a debate as to whether you deserve a the statue at Melbourne Park, and how your Australian fans were not shown your Olympic gold medal match on Australian television, despite your immense domestic following. Novak Djokovic, in time, all Australians will apologise to you. However, regardless of whether you decide to play in Australia again or not, Australia owes you an apology now. And in actual fact, for what it is worth, you are already loved. It is just the media that is pulling us apart. And who knows, 11 has a nice ring to it.
Hey football stars, is your kid holding you back? Time for an upgrade. Soccer Artos, introducing the ultimate football kit. It's sleek, it's bold, and it will make you look like a pro, all without breaking the bank. Crafted with high quality, moisture wicking fabric, you'll stay cool while crushing it on the field. And guess what? It's affordable too. Use the code SPORT for 10% off. Grab yours now and dominate the pitch in style. Gear up, play hard, look fly without the hefty price tag.